Now, this game was definitely the most chaotic of the playoffs so far. The Toronto Maple Leafs facing elimination here in this crucial game 5, and we have to start this video by talking about the non-goal call. Let me know what you guys think in the comment below. I'm curious to see where you are landing on this one because this is definitely a controversial topic. Now, obviously, they showed a lot of different camera angles on the broadcast, and I'm going to quickly show a couple here. And they also showed one where we definitely saw the puck cross the line. Now, the issue with that is the puck did cross the line, but as we learn from the referee making that call in the end, he assumed that the play was dead at that moment, making this a clear non-call for the referee perspective. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Like, do you think the play should have been done by then? We don't really hear a clear whistle, but the referee does have the power within him to say if the intent was there or if he deemed the play dead, then he is within his power to judge this as a no goal. I'm very curious to see what you guys think. Obviously, at any point, feel free to comment what you are thinking about this whole situation. But I personally think they made the right call. I could be wrong, but based on what he said, based on their evidence, based on the rule book, I think it was the right call. But again, I wouldn't argue to the death what someone says it was a non-goal. So let me know what you guys think. Now to kind of talk about the game a little bit, I thought the Leafs actually played a remarkable hockey game, except the first 10 minutes or so of the game. Florida got it off to a quick start, getting a 2-0 lead with some key goals in the first period. But then from that point, the Leafs were pretty much all over the Panthers, controlling possession, and it was just Bobrovsky making some key saves at that moment and Florida being able to play a trap style. And obviously, at one point, Rielly did make it 2-1, which brought it to a bit of a closer game. And then obviously the non-call there at the end of the second. And in the third, the Leafs played a remarkable period here. And within the last 5 minutes, not other than William Nylander clutched it up and scored one of the biggest goals of his career at that time, pushing the Leafs' life to at least one other period. I think William Nylander has been the best Leaf forward in this series, and I think Morgan Rielly is probably their second best player. So obviously it was good for him to score that big goal, and it was a very nice play as well. So then after this goal, the game went to overtime, and in overtime, obviously it was pretty an even battle. A weird kind of like call here against the Leafs in terms of delay of game call, but again, those are pretty automatic when you make those kinds of mistakes. Leafs were able to play a very, very good penalty kill, and so far they were still in this one. But towards the end of that first overtime period here, not other than Nick Cousins, after a great kind of like bounce back play from Gudas of all people, who joins the rush and makes it a 3-on-2. Nick Cousins just patiently waited out and snipes the puck here for the game-winning goal, making the Florida Panthers the second team in the East, and they'll face the Carolina Hurricanes in the conference final. I mean, this game was definitely interesting at different moments. I'm still curious to see if you guys think the referee absolutely blew it on this one. I'm not too sure. I think they made the right call. And the reality is, if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs and you're down 3-0 in the playoff series, you kind of put yourself in perspective that any weird call or any 50-50 that doesn't go your way can end your season. And that's kind of what we saw. Like, I'm not too sure how this game would have ended if it's 2-2 at that point, and still the game still ended up going in overtime, and the Leafs couldn't do it in an even format here in overtime. Matthews with no points, but he had 8 shots and 9 hits. I think he definitely had his moments, maybe just not the goal score moments that you would have thought we would have seen. So it's a close one. It was definitely game 4 and game 5 was a better version of the Maple Leafs for sure. I think they played some of their best hockey, but that's just not enough. And when you get to a cold start in a playoff series, it's really hard to play catch up. And kudos to the Florida Panthers. Kudos to Sergei Bobrovsky, who played an absolutely amazing series here. We all know goaltending can take you very far in the playoffs, and he's definitely had some very, very remarkable performance. So let me know what you guys think about this series. Maple Leafs will not move on, even though they defeated their demons in the first round. So interesting to see if there's any kind of like shakeup in the offseason. Do we see some player trades? Do we see some coaching movements? Do we see some GM movements? Let me know what you guys think. I'll probably make a different video about what's next for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But for now, kudos to the Florida Panthers. They're moving on into the conference final. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you next time.